Hello, welcome back to Step by Step, which I'll call Part B. And the reason why I'm doing a Part B is because I did get some feedback on some of the shots that I did in Step by Step, which weren't really coming across well. So the idea here is to show a graphic where you can see some of the actual pivoting and aiming techniques that you use in CTE. It is difficult sometimes to show it while you're running the camera and the tripod's in your way, and angles are really kind of difficult. So you may see like sometimes more rail shots and close shots because it's just easier to film that way. It is a challenge to show a video that kind of is for all people, because there's different levels of talent out there in terms of learning a CTE or any other system, and I'm just trying to get across the board in terms of what I can present. There's a lot of videos out there. It's maybe a little bit of controversy still, but I think we're getting a handle on really what has to be done in terms of how to get to an aim line, how to line up a shot, and getting involved in it. Now, CTE by itself is a tough system, especially for beginners. Just to let you know what's set out there. Here's my bead counter. It's on eBay. It's 50 beads per player. It's great for straight pool. It's a mark for every 10, and it's lightweight, very sturdy, and something that you can get it. Just look up Mini Bead Counter on eBay. It's $25. And it's a great thing. I'm showing my 9-ball with the 3 lines. This is 15, 30, and 45-degree perceptions. Don't forget, these are perception lines. You don't aim at those lines. They're just perception lines. So it kind of guides you into where you should aim. Once you see these lines, you just go to a center cue ball mode and shoot. And we'll get into that right off. So watch the video, and luckily we had some software from Charivari, which is a pool instructor on YouTube. You may have seen some of his stuff, and he's a software engineer and allowed his software to be used. So it's great giving us a handle on that. So it'll show you some of the aim lines, and it goes hand in hand with some of the shots that were presented in Step by Step. Not all the shots, but most of the shots, so you can go back and forth to see the real shot as well as looking at the graphic, and hopefully you'll kind of pick up some of the things I've been talking about. This is again a step in the right direction, but you really have to use practical knowledge to get going. So get to the pool hole. Here we got the first shot. This is the 9-ball going into the corner. As you can see, on 15 and 30 degree perceptions, the center line cue goes right to the opposite edge of the object ball, and here's the 11-ball. As you can see, that line is center cue ball line is going right to the opposite edge of the cut. The other line is going into one of the letters. In this case, it's going to be B from the left edge. You just move into that line, you aim at that line, and then you tip over. You have to tip over to center. So in this case, your center line is going to the left side, left edge, and then your other line is going right to C. You aim at C. You move over from, in this case, from right to left, right to center, and shoot. Here's a nice cut to the corner. This is a bead shot. The perception is important. If you're off on perception, sometimes you could miss the shot. So I guess the key is to kind of get a handle on the perceptions, whether it's a 30-degree or 15-degree or a 45-degree cut. And if you feel that it just doesn't look right, or it seems like you're not going to get it into the right angle, then you know your perception is probably off. So you could change. I didn't do all the rail shots. There's quite a few. So just keep in mind, this is the I think 7-ball going up to the corner. There's a number of these shots on this side and a number of shots on the other side, so I just did a couple of these just to show you the aim lines. When you line up, remember that center ball goes into the opposite edge, and the other side, which is the edge of the cue ball, goes into one of the letters. In this case, it's B. You aim at that letter, and then you pivot over to center cue ball. And all these shots are basically the same technique. All these are one-line visuals, so you're only aiming one line. In other words, you're aiming in this case at the 1/8 mark on this particular object ball, and you're moving into center and then shooting. This is a slight miss, and this sometimes, again, this sometimes could be a perception thing. If you think of perception, maybe let's say C and it's not, it's maybe B. It may make a difference. There is a latitude that you can get away with in terms of shooting, because the ball is much smaller than the pockets. So that's something that you just have to work in. I didn't do too many long shots, but long shots are relatively easy. This is a shot kind of like a spot shot. Just go for the aim at the 1/8 marker, and then bring it over to center. Here you have a shot going straight up to the corner. Now the video times you see on the top are not necessarily exact video times. Sometimes it varies for whatever reason that I can't figure out. But you can watch a video, and so the timeline, or it says video time, might be a little bit off on the original step by step, but they're pretty close. Some of these shots are duplicated in this video, so if you see them once or twice the same shot, it's okay. We just wanted to go over it again. The timeline may be different, so just disregard that. But it just goes to show some of these aim lines, and these are visual lines, so you can kind of set you up in the right thing. The lines never cross, so you're not going to have any kind of like an X kind of factor. So keep in mind that one line is going to the edge, the other line is going to one of the letters. On the 1/8 mark, you aim at that 1/8 mark, bring it off the center cue ball. You're not pivoting from the back, you're not pivoting from the front hand. Your base is stable, and when you look at the video step by step, and you see the line, the kind of aim line, where you're kind of pushing your cue and you're getting a base in front of the cue ball, your back hand is the one that does the pivoting. So keep that in mind. Once you kind of move into the shot, you set up almost where it's like half tip on one side or the other, and then shoot. It's basically you have to go to the pool hall and apply these kind of shots to see how it works in terms of pivoting, and you have to really trust the pivot. The pivot does work. So when you pivot into the shots, whether it's a shot like this where it's really kind of off, you're just aiming at the you're looking at just the object ball. You're not even looking at the pocket, and just shooting accordingly. It's almost like kind of almost automatic that it really works for you in terms of getting these balls in. If you're in the proper aim line, you're looking at the in this particular case, let's say your 1/8 mark. You're aiming at that 1/8 mark. You bring it over to center cue ball, put it in. It's pretty much it's going to work for you. Now, don't forget, when you use some English, either left, right, or whatever, it's going to make a little bit of an effect. So you could use English, of course, you want to get position, but know that it can alter the shot slightly. And you have to make an adjustment on that side. Of course, follow up or draw back is not an issue at all. So you could use that, and I never had really too many issues on position, but you have to make an adjustment. When you're looking at some of these shots, the angles are sharp, so it really does get you out of a jam when you're doing some of these shots. And it's great to have CTE as a tool. So when you're in these kind of situations, that you could just kind of look at the ball, aim at the one of the letters, and make an adjustment to center cue ball, and then shoot without worrying about where it's going. It's like I said, it's something that's just fundamental in the shot. It just actually works. It goes right into the pocket that you address. And here's an example. It's a nice 1/8 cut. Just aim for that 1/8 marker, bring it to center, and shoot it in. And time again, get into a lot of areas where it's a shot is a difficult shot, and CTE gets you out of that jam because you're not really aiming at the pocket. You're just aiming at the ball, so that little space between the cue ball and the object ball is really not that far in most cases. You want to keep it down, a foot or so. Remember that your base to the cue ball varies from a shot that's a long shot or a short shot. And here's some extras. I just thought I'd throw them in just to give you an idea of some of the things I've been doing, which is was actually in another video, and I just wanted to present it again. Sometimes you're putting on a tip for the cue, and you have this device which is out there. It's relatively inexpensive, a few dollars, which is nice. It's a little kind of a little iron thing with a little collar, and you stick it on there, and you can hold the tip down. It's not bad, although that collar kind of grabs your shaft and could make a dent. So you're going to be a little careful on that. If at best you have to take a piece of cardboard, maybe get it from a magazine or something and then throw it in there. But I tend to use this little thing, and I thought this was a good idea. It's an elastic, kind of a tourniquet. When you get a shot at the doctor, you could probably ask them for it. They give it to you for free. It's just something that you can wrap around you glue the tip, and I use Gorilla Glue, a little drop or so. You stretch this little kind of rubber piece, and it really holds it nice, and you could just grab it, and you could pull it nice and tight, and then you take this little $1 clip and just clip it on right on the rubber, and it's snug, holds it really good. And you leave it there for maybe 20 minutes or so, and you're good to go. Here's an item I just wanted to show. It's kind of interesting. It's a rubber mat that you could pick up from Lowe's or Home Depot. It has a little edge on the bottom, so as you can see, it's a really large mat actually. I just cut this down. You could almost make it to any size. You could make curves and all kinds of different things, but it has that little edge on the end, so you could set it up however you want to set it up. I use a side which is about 6 inches or so, and on the other side you take another mat, which is something that you've probably seen around, which is on the edge of the mat, interlocking edges. So you can just take one of these interlocking edges. In this case, I took one that's for 3 pool cues, and you glue it on there, and it's sturdy. As you can see, this would be like a table in the pool hall, and you can just use it for cues, and it's very steady. It's kind of heavy rubber, and it doesn't slip or slide, so it's just it's another version of the Tiger Claw. Here's an item that is interesting. If you have a table or if you have a club that has a pool table and you need a ball cleaner, you can go out and spend a couple of $100 or so and get one, or you could just make this thing. You have a little machine that if you don't use it for your car, you just use it maybe when you can, and then you could use it for ball cleaning. What I did is I got this little 5-gallon drum. The cleaner, as you can see, is just standard cleaner, but you do have to put a little kind of a clip to hold the button down, so you could just put something in there that'll hold that button down. And on the inside, you see there's a little thing on the bottom, so it holds the machine really nice and snug. I will put a piece of little rug in there, and there's a rug glued to the side. So I just throw it in there, make sure the plug comes out. It fits really nice and snug, and there you are. It's just really nice. You could change the rug after a while, but this thing's been working. And just throw the balls in there and spray it I sprayed it with car spray, polish, or ball cleaner, or whatever you have, and it does a nice job. You could throw in 10, 12 balls in there. You don't want to put too many in, and let it spin around for about 20 minutes or so. And it really works pretty nicely. So it's a good item. Cost-wise, probably less than $50, and even then it's a stretch. So, hope you like the videos. Like I said, CTE is it's not easy, especially for people who have just started pool or aren't that advanced because of the angles and offsets and all this kind of stuff. Hopefully, this will give you a little more of a grasp on it. And if there's any questions, feel free to give me some feedback or send them accordingly. I'd appreciate that. And it is Christmas time, so have a nice Christmas, and see you on the next video.